Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Let's see who all's here. I'll say hello to you guys. Hey, Glowbug. Hey, Donna. Hey, Adrian. Hello, Nay. Sexy Wild Thing, Carol Freaking Claus. I love your new photo. Hey, Ava. Hey, Cutie Pie. Jen Joya. Hey, Shani. Hello, Eddie. Hey, Mrs. M. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Chris. Hey, Amber. Hello, True Crime Investigates. Good to see you. Hey, Richie. Hey, Rexy. Lynn, hello. Hey, Richie. Did I say that? I don't know. They start to run together. You guys know that. But I want to say hi to all of you. Hey, Sue Ann. What are you guys up to today? Hey, Stacy Lee. It's bedtime for me, so I'll be listening as I relax in bed. Well, I hope you have the sweetest dreams. Hey, Peppermint Tea. So I thought this would be the perfect time to do true crime news because most channels for the last few days have been covering that convict, that escaped convict. I didn't cover it. I really had taken a few days off, and we've been so deep into Letitia's case, which we're going to stay deep into because I have such a genuine interest for that, and I want to know all the information. So I'm going to keep talking about it. But because of that, and then the whole world paying attention to this escaped convict, I thought it would be the perfect time to do a true crime news and kind of talk about the things that have been happening that most of us have missed. And I'm going to warn you now, there's always stories that we go through that are absolutely rage inducing. And it's no different today. There's also a political story. The president's son was indicted, and I want to hear your thoughts on that. So we're going to talk about a few things like that. And one part of it, we're also going to talk about the Brian Kohberger trial, the Idaho 4 case, and if cameras are going to be allowed and kind of what the family has said. So I'm looking forward to talking about all of that with you guys. Amber, Melissa, and Shay had showed, I haven't seen it yet. There is an interview with Steve Gonsalves and Brian Enton. And there's also a statement from the family, the Gonsalves family, and some of the Kernodle family that I want to show you guys about, because the state and the defense both agree now that they don't want cameras. And the family, I don't think, is very happy about that. So, hey, Neat Noodle. Hey, Luana. Oh, thank you. Smash, smash, smash. Like that guy on Jen's channel. Hey, Pitbull Mama. Hello, Riddler. So, yeah, I can't wait to get your thoughts on that. Like I said, there are some political conversations, or a political story that we'll have a conversation about, which I want to start doing more on Real Talk with Alex. I've been talking with a few people about that. And I think that, I want to start going over there to talk about community issues, but also other controversial stories that aren't necessarily true crime. Hey, Karma Libra. Hey, Connor. Luana, summer, I want to talk about summer, but it's just tough because all of the rumors. The other day I watched someone who did a video on Candace and the rumors about those charges that she received with her first children. And they claimed that her husband had no charges at the time and all this stuff. None of that's true. He actually did have charges at the time. We went over, I did background checks on lives on everyone in that case. It's just the information that I'm telling you guys, if you hear something about that, it's probably not true, because I'm seeing, creators with thousands of people watching just spreading complete misinformation. So, hey, Queen Bella. Okay, so what are we going to talk about first? Hey, B Crumbs. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Margaret. Good to see you guys. It is so convoluted now, which is sad. There was a billboard campaign, which is pretty interesting. I'm so skeptical on that kind of stuff, though. But I don't know. All new members gifted. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Sexy Wild Thing, Carol Freaking Claus. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Oh, welcome, Eddie. Thank you for joining again. Hey, Tiff. Good to see you, girl. Okay. You guys are the bomb. Let me make sure I drop the .com bomb is what it is now. um, when nay. Hey, Eddie, how did you join twice? I don't know what that means. Thank you, Eddie. I'm afraid she'll never be found either, Adrian. It's really truly sad. Please make sure. Let me see. Amber. Let me drop Amber's link. I say make sure to let me know. I don't want to miss anybody. And the mods can drop the links too. Oh, thank you, Tiff. I appreciate that. Okay. I really didn't know if I was going to go live or not because this toothache is driving me crazy. I've got to get in the dentist, and yeah, it's like right here, but it starts to radiate through my whole mouth, and even I don't know, toothache suck. Hey, Alyssa. Oh, he upgraded. Okay, thank you, Eddie. All right, I'm going to turn the camera off though because we need all the power we can get. We're going to start with Kohberger, I guess. But look what happened when I opened. So I have 2 Facebook accounts. One that I use only for streaming, for us to look up stuff, to send stuff to myself, that kind of thing. And I want to show you guys, it's crazy the way that public opinion has shifted. As soon as I open Facebook, the Idaho group pops up and you see this. I love her with a picture of Brian and Ann Taylor. But it's just interesting because I think, watching the public's opinion on this case, it's really fascinating. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you for the super sticker. Often radiates. Oh my God, Ava. But Tiff, the tooth is pretty good. I don't want it pulled. I think I need it fixed, but I couldn't even see there was a cavity. It's behind where I can't see it. Hey, Crime Curious. You better not be trying to pull my tooth. Oh, before we go, she is pretty. I know, Nate. I'm going to call tomorrow. I promise. Okay, before we go any further, I'm curious. Does anybody in the chat right now have any opinions on the defense or anything so far that, stands out to you as far as the defense goes, Ann Taylor and Brian Kohberger? Okay, now let me grab this screenshot. So this is the statement from the Gonsalves family and the Kernodle family. And this came after, they had court the other day and they talked about the cameras. We know both the state and the defense don't want the cameras there. And the media coalition, which that often happens when they try to take cameras out, the media will sue and they'll battle it out in court. The judge is going to make his ruling. He wants to think on it. So the family put out this statement. They say, "It is vitally important that this trial be open to the public to view and watch. There is an enormous amount of media coverage about this case, some good, some bad. And with that comes the responsibility of the court to ensure a fair trial. The thing that is most overlooked in reviewing the motions filed by the state, who took no position in its original motion dated June 6, stating it relied on the discretion of the court, and now is taking a different position, and the defense's faith in the justice system. This case is surrounded by secrecy. Everything is either sealed or redacted. The family has not received any discovery on this case or any information about the facts of the case from the state. No one knows anything about the case, which leads to speculation. That speculation is fueled by the secrecy surrounding everything that is filed and every hearing that is closed off to the media and the public. Only through independent investigation has the family been able to get some information, so it is vitally important that the trial be viewed publicly. It is important to the victim's family, relatives, community members, and the public that this veil of secrecy be lifted at trial. This not only ensures accountability for all the parties involved, but also helps the public maintain its faith in the justice system." What do you guys think? Because look, I can see, hey, Crime Time with Mel, I can see not wanting the cameras in like during these hearings when they're going over the motions and stuff like that. But at trial, when the jury's already picked and seated, what does it matter? That makes no sense to me. Let's do. Can one of the mods drop True Crime Investigates? He's not in the Nightbot, and then Crime Time with Mal is, but I don't remember her thing. And Crime Sleuth, and I think I tried to fix hers, didn't I? Let's see. Maybe just grab her link too if you don't care. Thank you guys so much. Trust your jury. I think it should be public. They basically said that, it's necessary for it to be public and that this whole case is, everything's been held secret, which it has. That's the truth. I'd be okay with the cameras if it wasn't for the fact that Brian is eating up every second of it. I'm sorry, I've not watched this case after about 2 weeks. I'm just tired of hearing about it. So many creators talking about it. I just can't, and I don't know why. I totally know what you mean. I agree. Hey, I'm Taylor from Stitchin' Bitchin' and True Crime. Nay sells the wax melts. I do agree with this. Lots of secrecy. What does it matter if they have cameras at court? After they haven't had cameras and there's been, oh my gosh, why is my brain doing this? Where no one's allowed to speak about it. I just don't understand what cameras in the courtroom is going to hurt during the trial once the jury is seated. Now, cameras at every motion hearing is different. Hey, Thistle. Okay. For it's tie-dyed kindness, Erica. Let me see. Is that in my Nightbot thing? It might be. It's tie-dyed kindness, one word. I think the judge is trying to protect himself. He couldn't even get their names right, honestly. Well, and then you have the, about witnesses and stuff like that. And the judge did mention, I believe, something like taking the cameras off during particular testimony or certain witnesses, which is normal. We see that in cases all the time. Like the Border Patrol agent, when his mom testified, they took the cameras off. Let Nene change your life. Taylor, I'm pretty good. How are you? The family should have a say. It is public, just not streamed. Well, that's a good point, Neat Noodle, because it's open to the public. And you better get there early if you want to see, because I bet you they are going to fill up fast. But it's open to the public, but live streaming is a whole nother thing. I don't think that I'm going to play this interview with the family because I just wanted to touch on it, and I really want to talk with you guys about all the other cases that really aren't getting talked about as much and don't get the coverage. There's several. I looked yesterday because I was going to do this yesterday, and there were several that I saw that I thought that we should talk about. And then today I looked again, and like I said, the president's son has been indicted at this point, which is really interesting. And that gets into a whole political thing, but I usually try to avoid that, but I do want to know what you guys think about that. It's weird to me that the prosecution wouldn't want cameras. It could hurt the judge. I think it's the ripple effect after conviction they're trying to reduce. Oh, thank you, sexy wild thing, Carol freaking Claus. You do rock. Thank you. I'd be curious to know how cameras affect the lawyers in their theatrics. It seems like every trial on camera is a circus. Well, I think that the lawyers are definitely aware of what the cameras will do for their career and even what particular cases may do for their career. I mean, if we think back and look at, like, say, Jose Baez, his entire career was built off of, well, not entire career. He's done many cases, but like to the most of the public, they know him because of Casey Anthony, right? And Ann Taylor is going to be known worldwide now because of Brian Kohberger. That's just the facts. Okay, you guys. True Crime Investigate says Republicans asking for impeachment for Biden lies. That's true. They did. That's something that would be good to talk about on Real Talk with Alex, actually. But yeah, Biden, my son, didn't do shit. I try to avoid politics too. Steve doesn't believe Kohberger is the one, in my opinion. Oh, really? You think so? I don't know. Trial lawyers love to be the center of attention. He's definitely not happy with Bill Thompson. Okay, so if we have time, we'll watch the interview at the end of this. But let's switch gears for a minute. We're going to go to True Crime News, or, talk about other cases. If my neighbor don't stop that drill, I'm going to get mad. So the first thing, we see president's son indicted. We're going to click on it for a second. Ashley says Steve definitely thinks BK is the one. Melissa, I think Steve believes Brian is more likely the one than not, but would rather just have the answers than move forward with the uncertainty. Well, I have not seen the interview, so we'll watch it at the end of this. But okay, so we'll just read this quickly. Like I said, there's several cases I wanted to show you guys about, but Hunter Biden has been indicted on federal gun charges. Now, when I saw this, we've seen all the, controversy surrounding Hunter Biden and money in other countries and drugs and all the things. So I was kind of shocked that he was indicted on gun charges. I've told you guys, I voted for Biden. I actually I run middle of the road. I'm not so sure that I'm proud of my vote at this point. I think he ran as a president that was going to be more of a middle of the road president. And that's kind of his history on the Congress. He's always kind of been a middle of the road instead of far left or far right, but I feel like he's not really stuck to that through his presidency. So anyways, it says Hunter Biden, the son of President Joe Biden, was indicted on federal gun charges on Thursday in Delaware. NBC reported that Hunter Biden, 53, was indicted on 3 counts of possession of a gun while using narcotics. Yeah, gun charges. 2 of those counts stem from claims he made in 2018, in which he denied using narcotics when he bought a Colt Cobra revolver in 2018. The 3rd count alleges he had the firearm while under the influence of narcotics. Charges against Hunter came weeks after a judge dismantled a plea deal, specifically a diversion agreement that would have had him serve probation. According to NBC, the prosecution and defense agreed to have him plead guilty to failing to pay his taxes, a misdemeanor. In exchange, a charge for illegally owning a Colt Cobra 38 special handgun would be dropped if he completed the diversion agreement. However, the judge in this case barred the plea agreement, citing its unconventional stipulations. Prosecutors denied the court's assertion that the deal would shield Hunter Biden from other tax-related crimes from the same period. So the judge basically said, no, we're not going to let him get away with whatever. We're going to charge this is ridiculous and unconventional. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the president can pardon anybody, so it is kind of interesting. I didn't know that, Riddler. Hunter was discharged from the United States Navy Reserve after testing positive for white powder in June of 2013. Okay, so let's continue. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was watching Amber. She did the other morning, she did a Ruby Frank live, and it was very interesting. One of the family members, of Jody Hildebrandt, had spoken out. And so that piqued my interest a little bit with this whole situation. But I used to watch one of her Ruby Frank's sisters, and I didn't know that was her sister. Her name is Bonnie. She does a YouTube channel with a girl named Ellie, her sister, I believe, and it's called Bali or something. Hold on one second. Amber, that was a great live. And yes, usually, like sometimes I would sleep through your lives in the morning, so I was happy to make it for sure. Yes, Bali. Sorry, you guys. My dad's leaving to go get my son from football, and he's taking Bentley, so the car just started like right in the mic. But I watched all of them when I first came to YouTube. Yeah, so I don't know that story. I've thought about covering it, but I think so many people are already doing such a good job. I'll just. Okay, so this is where we're going to start. These are a couple I want to talk to you guys about. We have attempted murder from Glam Horse Show producer, had 3 failed engagements before plotting to have latest husband killed. Then I saw this one. Pennsylvania mom refuses to perform CPR on dying 12-day-old son. Okay, sorry. I know that was probably loud. Oh, thank you, Lou. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so Pennsylvania mom refuses to perform CPR on dying 12-day-old son. A Pennsylvania woman is facing homicide charges for killing her 12-day-old son on Tuesday. According to WPXI, Mongalia police, who responded to a call of an infant who was not breathing, learned that Darian Helmentaler, 22, stopped communicating with 911 dispatchers and refused to perform CPR. Helmentaler allegedly told police she was sleeping in bed with her son after feeding him and she may have rolled onto him. Responding police officers noticed the newborn was bleeding from his nose and he had a cut on his forehead. Helmentaler, who had blood on her shirt, claimed the cut was probably caused by his long fingernails. Authorities also alleged they discovered a bloody towel in the bathroom. KDKA reported that officers discovered 2 alcoholic drinks on her front porch. Her son passed away at the hospital. A doctor said the baby had blue-gray coloring around his mouth and on the front of his neck. She told police she lived alone with her son, but her mother said she lived with a man. The newborn's mother allegedly told police that a baby camera may have been recording. She and her son were reportedly alone in the apartment when the fatal incident occurred. They have not disclosed the cause of death, but she has been charged with homicide, aggravated assault, and child endangerment. Now we're going to go check out the local news that reported on this. Hey, Inspector Gadget. I know. What the holy... I don't know, Crime Sleuth. And that's what makes, like, it's very frustrating if you ever just take the time and, like, when we do these true crime news lives, or if you do it on your own, like, just go to, I really want to start my own blog where I gather, like, all the stories that are happening from all over and put it together and link the original stories and stuff like that. I just think that would be interesting because after doing this series, I've learned, like, every single day there are dozens of cases like this every single day. We may hear about a handful a week or whatever that get, in the headlines, but it happens all the time. It is awful. I'm so sorry, Donna. It is absolutely awful what's going on in this world sometimes. It really is. It is so hard to hear. Okay. So we'll watch this.
Her son, she didn't even try to save him. This woman, 22-year-old Darian Helmentaler of Monongahela, is responsible for the death of her 12-day-old baby, according to the criminal complaint.
It's very quiet. I'm just going to look at their article. So Darian is being held without bond at a Washington County jail after she refused to perform CPR on her dying son. It's sickening, said neighbor William Russell. Police say Helmentaler is responsible for the death of her 12-day-old baby. According to the criminal complaint, police were called to her apartment just before 9 Tuesday morning for reports of a baby not breathing. They were told she wasn't communicating with dispatchers and refused to perform CPR. When officers arrived, the baby was already in the ambulance and noted he had blood on his face but appeared to be coming from his nose. Police say when officers interviewed her inside the apartment, she stated if her baby is dead, she wanted to go to jail, otherwise she would kill herself. She said she was sleeping in bed with her baby after feeding him and may have rolled over on him. When police searched the apartment, they found a paper towel in the bathroom that appeared to have blood on it, a paper towel. They also found 2 alcoholic drinks on 2 separate tables on the front porch of the apartment. When asked if she drank both of them or if another person lived there, she said she lives alone. However, her mom says differently. Wow. Why would she refuse to do CPR? That's just weird. Let's see what this is before we leave CBS News. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Jaded. Hey, Will B. Good to see you guys. Thank you, Lynn. Hey, Jay Kismet. Good to see you. Man, 28, arrested in connection to death of brother, 7, inside Eden Prairie residence. So a 28-year-old man is in custody in connection with the death of his 7-year-old brother inside an Eden Prairie residence on Tuesday night. Hold on just a sec, you guys. Okay. Police say officers were called at about 10 p.m. to a home on the 9,000 block of Lee Drive for a welfare check on a man who was said to be in crisis. Officers arrived to find the boy unresponsive inside. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. The victim's older brother was arrested and is being held in the Hennepin County Jail. Neighbors WCCO spoke with Wednesday were stunned, and unfortunately, that boy's family has been touched by tragedy before. Things have been slowly unfolding, throughout the day, and it's sinking in now, said one neighbor. She told neighbors they wake up Wednesday to see police cars on their street, eventually learning their younger neighbor was found deceased. Wow, that's a pretty nice looking neighborhood. There was 2 of them that rode up and down the street. 2 brothers, a lot, said neighbor Ron Starzinski, but just the sense of his loss, not having now a brother to grow up with and play with. So one of them, a few years ago, one of their family member was killed in a shootout. I don't know. We don't know much about this one. So let's go back to how are you guys doing in the chat? Sorry for the pauses. The neighbor kids are here, and they always show up when I'm live, and then they always scream like in the yard right beside where I'm at really loud, and it drives me crazy. Hey, Tiffany. Okay, Mal, have a good evening. Please do these stories every week. No one reports on these horrible murders. I'm a shut-in and very elderly, and no one reports these crimes. Please do. Oh, and Margaret, thank you so much, and thank you for being here. I do this series. I try to do it, once a week or something like that every few days. But thank you. You're fine. I can't even hear the kids. We are alive and listening. Can't hear them. You're fine. Well, good. Because, I'm like, dude, this is when you decide to show up and start like screaming like King Kong. Rawr. Whatever. There was a couple there I wanted to show you, but first we're going to go, oh my gosh. Okay. So this one, and this is, trigger warning, but these stories aren't pretty. This is real life, and it is, it is what it is. This one's tough though. Oh, thank you, Clicker. I love you guys and appreciate you guys. Okay, so Minnesota man rapes college student, waterboards her in her dorm room. A Minnesota teen is charged with holding his girlfriend captive in her St. Catherine University dorm room in St. Paul 4 days while raping and waterboarding her. Keanu Labette, 19, launched his attacks on September 7th when the victim refused to have sex with him, according to Law and Crime. They'd been dating for 2 months, authorities said. Police say he took the woman's phone, repeatedly attacking her until Sunday morning when she persuaded him to let her go get food. He went from giving her hickeys, which was consensual, to forcefully removing her clothing and penetrating her vaginally and anally with his penis. I'm sorry, you guys, with his penis and fingers after she told him that she did not want to have sex, the complaint against him said. Over the weekend, the victim said he put her in the tub with a washcloth over her face and waterboarded her. He punched her in the stomach, the throat, the face, and held her arm while telling her he was looking for the right vein to cut deep enough so no one could save her. He also threatened to kill her family. He allegedly gave the victim her phone back Sunday morning, telling her to Snapchat him and send photos so he could track her progress as she retrieved food. Instead, she called for help. When police arrived at her dorm room, he reportedly said, "I plead the fifth." Police said they found an orange, black, silver folding knife in the front pocket of a green backpack inside the dorm room and a wet washcloth in the bathroom sink. He is charged with 3 counts of criminal sexual conduct, threats of violence, and domestic assault by strangulation. Because she refused to have sex with him, he raped her for days and then waterboarded her in her dorm room bathroom. It is for adults only, which I do have my channel set to not for kids and 18 and up. But this scares me because look, this is, this crime is not going to put him away for life. And what's he going to do with a guy like this when he gets out? I mean, oh my God. She must have been so terrified. Thank God she survived. Oh, Eric, I don't think I've seen that yet. And then he told her to send Snapchat videos of her progress while retrieving food and stuff. Screw you, buddy. I'm so glad she called for help. Hey, Patricia. A few weeks ago, a coworker of mine was unalived by her boyfriend. Only a small local news article about it. Stacy, unfortunately, I see that all the time. And for some reason, certain cases will blow up and they get so much attention that the family's like, we don't even want this much attention. We please let us be. And then you have cases where they get no attention and the family's like, please, hear our story. Talk to us, and it's tough. I love hearing kids, just saying. I know. I don't mind for you guys to hear them a little bit. I just don't want them to hear me mainly. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty tough stuff yeah. Waterboarding is I don't know exactly what it is either, except it's like torture and it's like getting you close to drowning pretty much. Forcing your head underwater, or forcing you that kind of thing. Many make one feel like they are drowning, cause panic attacks and seizures. They put a flannel over your face and pour lots of water onto it. Yep, I don't know. We'll see. I wonder how much time he'll get for this. But Joran Vandersloot granted another extension in Natalie Holloway fraud extortion case. Wow, imagine that. Okay. Have you heard of the Ellen Greenberg case? This teacher, it was found to be a suicide, but she was stabbed 20 times. That makes no sense. I saw that. Here's the parking garage. I saw that yesterday. Hold on, because when they add new stories, it kind of shakes up their layout. Florida woman leaves young boy in a running car while she takes an ocean swim. What the fuck is wrong with you, lady? We're going to read this one. And then the next one is going to be another trigger warning, just letting you guys know. A Florida woman was arrested this week after she left a young child alone in her running vehicle while she took a swim where multiple people were fishing, warning her about their hooks and the possibility of sharks in the water. Witnesses said Allison Doherty shouted back that she didn't care and wanted to get hooked and she would want to meet sharks. She probably has some kind of mental health condition, but that's just my opinion. The Lee County Sheriff's Office said she parked her car near the pier at 10:30 a.m., cranked up the radio volume and the air conditioning, and jumped into the water, leaving the young boy still in diapers crawling around the car unattended. She'd been in the water for about 20 minutes when police arrived, and she swam further from shore when she saw them. A marine unit brought her back to shore. Staff at Captain Khan's Fish House across the street told WBBH the woman and the boy had been at the restaurant 3 times in the past week and that each time she seemed just off. She didn't seem drunk. She didn't seem intoxicated. They fed the little boy lunch after the woman's arrest while waiting on a family member to pick him up. She was charged with 1 count of child neglect. She needs some mental health care, and that baby needs to be somewhere safe. The car was running. He could have knocked it into drive or anything. That's scary, you know? Unbelievable, you guys. Okay. This one was kind of like, I'm wondering what happened here. So this little boy, he went missing. He was out hunting with his grandfather, and he went missing. Well, he was found, and this is not even where I saw it, so we'll read the article and see like what the updates are. But he was found, and they said that he reportedly passed away from a gunshot wound. So I wonder if there was a hunting accident, or I don't know. Oh, I didn't, Anne. Her baby and her dog. Oh my gosh. Hey, Wolfie. Hey, MK. You're the .com bomb. Thank you, Wolfie. The Ellen Greenberg case is the most corrupt case ever. He better do some time, Anne, because if not... Kohberger judge says he is asking the media to back off a little bit. He says he questions whether he can really trust the media to do the right thing. He says it's not the camera people, it's where the video goes and how commentators talk about it. I know, but I mean, that's out of their control at that point. I think that there's a lot of people talking about that case that are on, the side of the defense, are seriously questioning everything the prosecution does. I just think that you're getting both sides of it. It's just not, I don't know. Some of her injuries were post-mortem. See, I don't even know that one as much. That is interesting to me, though. And they just ruled that they're not going to reopen it. What? So, deceased 10-year-old who vanished while hunting with granddad died of gunshot wound. A 10-year-old West Virginia boy was found dead on Sunday, hours after he disappeared while squirrel hunting with his grandfather. Mason County Police said Wyatt was found dead of a single gunshot wound in the Salt Creek area after he and his grandfather got separated in Point Pleasant on Sunday. The grandfather was in an ATV accident while searching for the baby, leading responders to learn of the boy's disappearance. The grandfather reportedly told responders that Niebuhr had vanished an hour earlier. He disappeared with a .22 rifle. Officials have not said whether they suspect foul play in this case. His body was sent to the state medical examiner's office. I just wonder what happened. There's tons of people out there hunting in the woods, Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? Could it have been self-inflicted? I don't think so with a .22 rifle, but maybe. It's a social media issue, not a cameras in the courtroom issue. The legal system needs to catch up with technology. You can't help what happens with, I know, that is just stupid. Oh my God. I don't know. Mason County. Is that what I said? Let me see. Yeah, Mason County. That is so sad. I'll be keeping an eye out to see what comes from that because, yeah, I just want to know. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, God. Another hot car death. Baby brought deceased in a trash bag to hospital after caretaker leaves her in a hot car for 6 hours. A Virginia woman has been arrested in connection with Tuesday's hot car deaths of an infant girl and dog. So this is the one that you're talking about. The investigation started after an 80-year-old man reportedly brought the deceased 11-month-old to the hospital in a plastic bag. Police believe Kristen left the baby and dog in the car for 6 hours before she was awoken by a phone call and discovered their bodies. Graham allegedly provided 2 stories about what happened. She claimed she was in the car with the infant, but she also stated that she left her in the car because she was asleep. She reportedly drove to Newport News with the infant and dog to drop off cigarettes and juice to a friend. She returned home the following day and allegedly left the child and dog in the car with the windows rolled up. This is like an hour and a half for me. Newport News, I go to a little shop down there. It gets so damn hot here, you guys. You can't sit in the car with the windows down. I'm talking about yesterday, it was 100 and some degrees, it feels like, or, the heat index. I don't care if your baby's asleep and you don't want to wake him up because you want that minute, rest for the baby and that minute break for yourself. Get over it. Oh my gosh. So Graham stated she does not remember anything regarding their deaths aside from pulling into the driveway. However, she allegedly admitted to taking gabapentin, a pain medication, before traveling to Newport News. I take gabapentin. I'm prescribed it, 300 milligrams twice a day. I get it for 2 reasons: anxiety, and also because I have horrific sciatica and like a pinched nerve in my back, and it helps with that. I remember being a kid and seeing people take like 30 at a time because they don't provide like this high, especially one. Like, if you're used to a high from like opiates or something, they don't do that. And I'm not even sure that you can overdose on them or anything, but damn sure using that as your excuse. No. That's ridiculous. She took gabapentin. She'd been taking care of the baby for 2 days, which she had done before. The baby's mother, a 17-year-old, lives in York County. Oh my God almighty. She's been charged with felony child abuse and animal cruelty, but she could face homicide charges. Why was the baby in a plastic bag? Why did this old 80-year-old man take her to the hospital? Why do you have this 17-year-old baby? What in the hell? You guys. Ugh. Hey, T. It is sickening, Amber. Oh, my God. That Brian K., he makes me sick. He has a smirk on his horrible face all the time. He really believes he is smarter than everyone. I could see that. Okay, so I'm sorry, Donna. After this, I'm going to talk to you guys about this one more story, and then we're going to watch the interview that Brian Enton did with Steve Gonsalves. What I talked about at the beginning, a statement that was put out from the Gonsalves family, also some of the Kernodle family. And if you missed that, I can show you that again as well. It is horrific to imagine. Oh, wow, my brother got a new car and it alerts you to check for kids when you turn it off. It happens a lot. No, yeah, it was not. See, it was a 17-year-old's kid. The dog, why leave the dog? It was sleeping too. That's what I thought. Like, huh? Thank you, sexy wild thing, Carol freaking Claus. Thank you. It could reach an incredible 138 degrees in your parked car. Oh my God. Gabapentin won't do what this person is claiming. I used to take the max daily dose for autoimmune and no way. Yeah, my dose is pretty low because I know that there's an 800 milligram, dose that some people take 4 times a day. I take 300 twice a day, but there is no way in hell. No, it's not the same as like an Ambien or an Oxycontin or something that you might take that really might knock you out. Most people don't even feel them. Oh no, Nay. I don't know. Oh yeah, my phone. I got it. I thought I didn't have it. See, Ann or Adrian, for me, like I can go without mine and I don't have any side effects. Oh my God. Okay. Nay sent us a story we're going to talk about in this one really quick, and then we'll watch that thing. I hate skipping your comments. You overtake it and it will. But I mean, if she took just one, you know what I mean? It's huge and 4 times daily. Yes, Clicker. I take them too. I take one a day. Wow, didn't even notice it. Most people don't. Yeah. If Elizabeth said it, fried her. Okay, so let's talk about this one, and then Nay sent one, and then we'll go watch that interview. So, glam horse show producer had 3 failed engagements before plotting to have the latest husband killed for $2 million. Failed equestrian show producer Tatiana Remley apparently has a history of unsuccessful engagements with wealthy men while utilizing child support payments to sustain her extravagant lifestyle. Acquaintances told the New York Post that Limley, who is accused of offering $2 million to a friend to take her latest husband, Mark Rimley, out, was manipulative and attempted to milk Mark out of his $26 million inherited from his parents. I was surprised that she would be that brutal, but I know a couple guys who played with her, and they said she was an icy bitch, a former friend told the Post. As Crime Online previously reported, the San Diego County Sheriff's Department arrested her on August 2nd for soliciting her friend to kill Mark at some point between July 1st and August 2nd. After her arrest, friends and acquaintances said she had at least 3 prior engagements along with a brief marriage. I know the petitioner has additional funds available to her, as I have evidence of her converting my funds into her own separate property. Wow, from one of her exes. I am unwilling to give her cash, as she demonstrated during the marriage her inability to properly manage money and stole money from me, which she still has access. And she is a beautiful girl, but she was getting $9,000 a month on child support. $9,000 a month. For she frequently missed her special needs son's medical appointments. Wow. He very much needs his mom in his life, but what history has taught us is that Tatiana does not appreciate how badly it tears up the child when he thinks he is going to see his mom, and she, for whatever reason, causes that not to happen. I can't stand when a parent does that. Do not tell these kids you're going to do something for them and you don't do it. That is so messed up. Because these little children, they get their hopes set, like, you tell them you're going to take them to do something, and they will be waiting for that. They'll be thinking about it nonstop. They'll be the first thing they think about when they wake up, and just looking so forward to it. I cannot stand that. But when my dog has to go to the vet, we give her gabapentin and she gets loopy. I don't agree with the court system when it comes to paternity either. Hey, Lucia, we're just going through some current cases. Hey, Amber. Some news that's been from about the last week or so. Okay, so this is the one Nay sent us. Oh, God. Crisis in the classroom. Family takes legal action after nonverbal 3-year-old was pushed and hit by former DPS employee. Oh, my Lord. So this was an incident that happened at Rosa Parks Early Learning Center on August 21st. A video has recently circulated social media of a former employee assaulting a 3-year-old nonverbal child who has autism. In the video, you can see the child running down the hallway at Rosa Parks Early Learning Center. The school employee then throws him to the ground by his head, then picks him up upside down by both legs. The employee has since been fired, but that doesn't mean justice has been served. On yesterday, the parents lawyered up and they're planning to press charges. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was running away. He was not going to get anywhere. That building is locked. He could have bear hugged him, let another teacher do it. I don't know what was going through that man's head, but my son did not deserve that. Wow. Lindsay wasn't notified about the incident for several hours when she picked him up, and the school downplayed what happened. She said it wasn't the full truth. So this happened in the morning, and generally when there's an incident in school, parents should be called immediately, said the family attorney. It took nearly 3 weeks just to get the video from the school. Let's watch this video. Excuse me. Okay.
Your well-being matters.
Oh my God Almighty. After knowing Braylon's head hit the ground, did the district get him medical care? I don't understand. I do not understand. We've talked about this so many times when we hear cases of, kids being abused in daycare, in school, or by babysitters. It's frustrating. It's unbelievable. It's scary too.
An update tonight to our crisis in the classroom investigation into a former Dayton Public Schools employee caught on camera pushing down a 3-year-old child.
We want to warn you that video is just simply hard to watch. The child has autism and is nonverbal. And tonight, the boy's family is demanding accountability. So let's watch that video. You can see the child running down the hallway at Rosa Parks Early Learning Center. Watch there as the paraprofessional throws the boy to the ground by his head and picks him up upside down by both legs. That employee is no longer with the district.
But the family says that is not enough.
And is nonverbal. And tonight, the boy's family is demanding accountability. So let's watch that video. You can see the child running down the hallway at Rosa Parks Early Learning Center. Watch there as the paraprofessional throws the boy to the ground by his head.
Oh my God, y'all. Woo! Yeah. That employee needs to be in prison. Absolutely. I agree. Just because he's been fired, that is not justice. This dude needs to be charged. That's bullshit. What did you send me, Amber? Let's see. Oh, for the other day, that's close to your house. I forgot about that one. The one I sent you about the woman who waterboarded her baby and put him in the freezer and literally only got 30 days in jail. I forgot about that one. Actually, that we just talked about another case of somebody being waterboarded. I'm going to send this story over, and we're going to check it out as well. Oh my God. Nay, thank you for sharing that. And it's just absolutely disgusting. It's scary. You never know. When you leave your kids at a place like that at school, you're going to expect that they're going to be treated right, but you never know. Look here, the other day at my son's school, and I'm pissed about this, and I still haven't talked to his teacher. Bentley had swimmer's ear. I told y'all about that. I took him to the doctor day before yesterday, on Tuesday. And she gave me an excuse and stuff. Well, Monday, was it Monday or the Friday before? No, I'm getting confused. Regardless, it was Friday. Okay, so Friday he went to school, and that was the first day he complained of his ear hurting. And I sent him to school anyways. I gave him his vitamins, some Zyrtec, and some ibuprofen that morning before school. And I told him, if your ear hurts, it'll start wearing off probably around lunchtime. If it hurts bad, you have the teacher call mommy, and I'll come get you. I don't want you sitting there, in pain. When I picked him up, he told me he tried to call. The teacher said she was going to, and she never did. And I'm highly pissed about that. I'm sorry, but when my son is in pain like that and he's asking to call home, you need to damn let him. That's bullshit. It's not like it's something that has ever happened before, ever. I could get it if it was something that happened all the time, but it don't. So, okay. Now, this is the one from Amber. Gresham woman waterboarded baby, put him in freezer to test father. A 30-year-old Gresham woman was sentenced Tuesday for criminal mistreatment after she waterboarded her baby and put him in a freezer to test if the baby's father cared. What the fuck? 30 years old and that's what you're doing to see if he cares? You are stupid. See, I told y'all it's rage inducing. There is no possible way to sit here and talk about these things that are going on in this world and not just get pissed. Yes, Lynn, I know. Ooh, it ruptured your eardrum? Oh my gosh. Being a mom of a child with autism, I would completely lose it. I don't blame you. Why was this man a teacher in the first place? Oh, Riddler, okay, I hope everything's okay. This is 5 minutes for me, so sick. To test how much his father cared. Oh, Vicky, you've been a member for 11 months. That's awesome. Thank you, Vicky. What the hell is wrong with you, lady? Oh, my God. Sharday McDonald. We're going to say her name. Her name deserves to be blasted all over. Sharday McDonald, the 30-year-old idiot who waterboarded her baby and put him in a freezer to see if the baby's father cared. Okay, let me just read because it's just infuriating. She was given 30 days in jail in the Tuesday sentencing, as well as 3 years probation for convictions of criminal mistreatment, tampering with a witness, and ID theft. According to court documents, in October, police responded to a report of a mom putting her baby in a freezer at an apartment at 174th and Burnside. As officers arrived, they heard a woman yelling through the door, "You don't want him. Let me show you this little fucking baby I don't fucking give a fuck about." Oh my God. When the woman, later identified as McDonald, answered the door, she was holding the baby in a blanket. The baby's father later arrived and showed police a video call he had with McDonald, where she was holding her baby by his onesie and waterboarding him. The officer wrote in reports that it looked like the baby was trying to hold his breath while water was pouring down his face and into his nose. And after officers arrested her, McDonald said she was sorry and that she did it to test the father, to see if he gave a fuck at all, and thought putting her baby under running water would make the father come back. I think he lived, but she could have. She told officers she was not trying to hurt or kill her son by drowning him or putting him in the freezer, according to court documents, but she did say that waterboarding the baby was done out of spite. The court documents state police spoke with and showed pictures of the incident to a pediatrician who said the child would have been unable to breathe while having water poured into his nose, and that could have serious and life-threatening complications. It is unclear from court records whether the baby is back with his father and what condition he is in. She was previously convicted of aggravated assault of a deadly weapon in Texas in 2016. So, Miss Sharday McDonald gets only 30 days in jail. They better never let her have children again. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable, you guys. No criminality. Yeah. Because her charges also, it's criminal mistreatment, tampering with the witness, and ID theft. I guess it would be criminal mistreatment. But they don't know where the baby is, or, does he have any life-altering effects? But, I mean, Rage cleaning in Phoenix again, Carol. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I love and appreciate you guys, and I come on here to make you so angry. They should have charged her with attempted murder. I agree. 30 days. Yep, Vicky, 30 days. I remember when Amber messaged me about this the other day, she was like pissed because she only got 30 days. And they are, I don't know. The laws are different, and they're more seem to be more lenient out there, but Keister Bunny. In my addict years, judges gave out 30-day holds like party favors. You need a license for everything except having children. There are some weird people out there. Okay, so let's watch this interview with Steve Gonsalves family. If you guys missed it, when we started, we talked about the cameras in the courtroom in the Kohberger case. The Gonsalves and members of the Kernodle family put out this statement. It is vitally important this trial be open to the public to view and watch. There is an enormous amount of media coverage. Some's good, some's bad. And with that comes the responsibility of the court to ensure a fair trial. The thing that is most overlooked in reviewing the motions filed by the state and the defense is faith in the justice system. Basically, I'm not going to read it all again. I'll leave it up here if you guys want to screenshot it or take it or whatever. But they want cameras in the courtroom. They think that there's already so much secrecy. And, well, they say that speculation is fueled by the secrecy surrounding everything that is filed and every hearing that is closed off to the media and the public. And I agree. The gag order and stuff, it's definitely not helping the rumors. Definitely not. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this, and we don't have to watch it all. I'm sure that, I think Melissa may have covered this last night. I'm sure Amber will talk about it. Teresa, many channels probably going to talk about this and show it, and I can share the link where you guys can see the full thing, but let's watch at least some of it. Okay.
Cameras the community needs to determine who this individual is. You cannot ask for the community to do the death penalty without their vision, without their support, without their understanding of all the aspects of the case. It's more than just the jury members. It's the community. It's a message for everybody to understand. In Idaho, this is how we work. We're not the same as Chicago. We're not the same as Miami and New York and LA. This is how Idaho perceives a major incident, and this is how we react to it. And we have the resources to do that. So I don't know what removing the cameras really provides other than a gap. And we've had a gag order in this case, and that didn't work out well. You hear about other people who've been placed under a gag order. It doesn't seem that the Constitution works well with this constitutional time of when it's okay to speak about, I don't want to say the truth, but I want to say when people are going to speak about a case and let the audience decide what the truth is. A gag order is an old version of controlling the narrative. You can't control it anymore with, social media, TikToks, and like I've said before, it's not NBC.
He's right.
NBC
you can't control the narrative with social media, like you said, TikToks, all the things. Gag order was probably much more effective before social media was so prevalent in everybody's day-to-day lives. It's so quiet.
These three medias that control this narrative, the whole world sees everything. So pretending like you can control, and what are you trying to control? Are we just displaying truth in action? To me, the courtroom is truth in action. So why do we hide that?
Were you surprised, Steve, to see the prosecution also now say that they don't want cameras?
Hey, Aunt B.
I want to say yes, but I'm shocked at how many times the prosecution and the defendant are on the same page. And then there's some certain things that they have in common, and they rise up. They rise up over and over and over. I won't say them now, but if they keep rising up over my daughter's truth and justice, then I will just call them out on those.
Oh, okay, Melissa. So that's what you were talking about. Steve says he is surprised at all of the things that the prosecution has in common with the defendant. And he's not going to mention all those things right now. But if they continue to happen, then he's going to start calling it out. Wow. I would love to hear I wish he would have listed them out. Holy cow. Well, I could tell by his smile. Like, as soon as he asked about the prosecution, I'm going to rewind it just like 20 seconds so y'all can pay attention to, like, Steve, his smile, his body language when he's even asked that question.
How do we hide that?
Were you surprised, Steve, to see the prosecution also now say that they don't want cameras?
I want to say yes, but I'm shocked at how many times the prosecution.
Oh, he is not happy.
The defendant.
I don't blame him. I mean, that's his baby, you know.
Are on the same page.
Wow.
And then there's some certain things that they have in common, and they rise up. They rise up over and over and over. I won't say them now, but if they keep rising up over my daughter's truth and justice, then I will just call them out on those commonalities that they have. And I mean, I just want a camera. I just want the truth. I just want everyone to see what's going on. That makes me radical. Okay, I'll live with that.
Shannon, does it matter what the families think in the eyes of the court? I mean, I've seen the filings from the prosecution, defense, the media. Like, does the family have a say when it comes to the cameras?
Well, I mean, ultimately, I can't speak for the prosecution in this case or the defense in any way. As a former prosecutor, and we always listen to the victims. A lot of times, the victims have an opportunity to speak to us about resolutions, how the case might be resolved. Certain things that go on during the case, we want them involved in along those lines. And so, I think that's part of the family putting out the statement today, was to voice their opinion about what they thought about having cameras in the courtroom, and hoping that people were listening to what they were saying. So I can't speak to the prosecution or the defense and what they might be thinking. So
we were talking
in your role representing.
We were talking about this a little bit before this live. And about like how much the families know, usually in cases, how in the loop they are and that kind of thing. And I remember Landon, after Gannon's trial, in one of her interviews, she was asked, like, did you know all of this, or were you surprised to hear? And she was like, no, I did not know. Many of the things that were put out in court, I didn't even know. And I think they must do that just to protect their case, because even though you're family, they still think about it like they don't want these details getting out, In
the families, does the prosecution come to you like with situations like this and say, what does the family think about cameras?
Well, we were always hopeful, but I think that's the reason we put out the statement today. I think if we had been approached or asked in some way about that, at least the Gonzalez family. I'm not sure they contacted. I don't know. I can't speak to see if they've contacted any of the other families. I don't think they contacted the Cornoodle family or the Mogans about the courtroom cameras in the courtroom. But they did not contact the Gonzalez family through me to ask us what our opinion was. And the family stressed to me that they thought it was an important thing that the world know and people know what they thought about it, and that they thought it was important that cameras be in the courtroom.
And Melissa, I personally think they should know some of it. Like even with Landon, even if I don't know how you do it to keep things from getting out, but maybe there's a way that you can swear them to secrecy, or I don't know. The thing is that why do they have to be hit with these horrific graphic details like in the court when everybody else is at the same time? You know what I mean? I think that they should. However, I don't know, if that's what's going to happen. Hey, Wicked West. To be honest, if it were the parents against cameras, I'd support them, but nobody else should bitch. Well, I think, look, we've had cameras at every motion hearing, or at many of them, or at least the recordings after. If anything was going to cause there to not be a fair trial, wouldn't it be the hearings that lead up to the trial? At the point of the trial, when the jury is already seated, what is it going to hurt to have cameras? That is just stupid and asinine. It makes no sense to me. The jury is usually, they're sequestered. They're not allowed to watch, or even if they're not sequestered, they're not allowed to watch the news on the case. They're not allowed to talk to people about it, stuff like that. So what's it going to hurt if there's media coverage at that point? That truly baffles me. I don't understand. I do think that, look, let's say that there are no cameras, but maybe we get the recordings after, like in the Lori Vallow trial. I don't think we'll hear everything. I think the roommate's testimony is probably not going to go out there. I don't know if we could probably get the transcripts from it after the trial through court records, but that's a bummer because that's what I want to know about the most, or one of the things I want to know about the most. That's always my point too. It makes no sense. I think I've heard you say that before, or somebody, and I'm sorry, but it just makes sense. Turn the cameras off at all the motion hearings, but on the flip side, though, there's still lots of good in the world. That is true, headphones. The 911 call, yeah. What are you guys looking forward to the most to know about? I'm going to let you guys go in a second because I'm done. And I've just been really exhausted, tired. I'm ready to go chill and relax and eat some good food. But I want to know, what are you guys the most looking forward to? Melissa, you and Amber both mentioned the 911 call and the caller. I'm looking forward to, and I know this is gruesome, but I want to see the crime scene photos. Because I want to know, I want to know what was visible from the hallway for Dylan. I just want to know all of that. I want to know where they believe it started. I cannot wait to find out if there really truly was this social media connection, because during this, I heavily covered Idaho in the beginning before he was arrested. Those were some of my biggest chats ever, 2,000 people in here at a time. I remember the day he was arrested, I did a live within minutes of him being arrested, and I don't think there was any lives yet on it. And during that time, we were searching on Instagram variations of his name. And I know for a fact there was no Instagram with the name Brian Kohberger, but they said that he was using an Instagram called crim.kohberger. If that's the case, I certainly didn't search for that, so I don't know. But I know for sure that there were no Brian Kohberger Instagram accounts following the victims at the time of his arrest. Seeing the scene is vital in understanding it. I want to hear what the kids were wearing. Time lapse. all the cell phone data, and BK going away for a very long time. I want to see the cell phone data too. I want to see the text messages between the roommates that day, the surviving roommate's story, and yes, the crime scene. I want to know why Dylan and Bethany didn't call 911 right away. I'm looking most forward to justice being served for the families and closure. Patricia, I want to know who was asleep, awake, and what he has made them suffer. I want to know where all physical evidence was, crime scene reconstruction at least. Well, remember, as soon as he was arrested, that very day that we found out about it, because he was arrested in the middle of the night, but we found out about it that next day. And when Ann Taylor was there at the house that next day with a whole group of people to do the reconstruction. So I'm sure we'll get to see that. And yeah, I really look forward to that as well. Anyone seen the Rood on Crime Circus? Outside X window looks like hoisted bodies up, or they were red, and it looks like some bloody resting on the roof. Annie, I actually have an old like I saw this stuff on the roof too. A long time ago when this case first happened, I probably got a TikTok video or YouTube shorts on it. There is like there is something on the roof. But, you know, they were known to party up on the roof and stuff like that. I don't watch that channel anymore just because there has been a really huge problem with this case and misinformation. And I'm trying to cut down on it. I want to know it all. Same here, Allie. I was live watching the fake accounts pop up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, when I searched, I don't even think there was any fake. There might have been, maybe there was a fake account, but it wasn't following any of them yet. And then when I went back later to look, it was following them. I want to see videos and especially the tripod film. I'm looking forward to all of it. We want to know it all. Let's see if I can find that this misinformation, this case. Psh, oh my God, it's the worst. It is absolutely the worst of any I've seen so far. But let's look at that picture of the house the morning that it was discovered. Hold on. News from November 15th. Or what day was it that this happened again? 14th? I can't remember. My brain. It was November 14th, yes. Let's see. This was from Fox News. I just want us to get a picture of it that next morning. The one from the roof, because there is something red on the roof. I remember talking about, like looking at that and talking about it. It's like dark, deep red, like a burgundy. Here's a bunch of photos. This is an old article. Remember that cabinet that looked like there was blood like dripping off? I don't know. I just don't know. Here we have them coming out of the house with evidence box. And then remember when the mattresses were shown? Oh my gosh. Let's do just an image search. Hold on. I swear I remember that though, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it that quickly. It's still so eerie looking at pictures of inside. Look, this is, you know, inside the kitchen where he likely entered. It's crazy. And also eerie to just see the balcony of the house, because I feel like if somebody was watching them, God, they could have seen a lot, you know. And yeah. I'll forget it. I'm done. I'm not gonna find it. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. I thought I was. But anyways, yeah, you're not sharing the screen, love. I'm sorry. I thought that I was, which I was showing. Here, let me show you. And then I'm gonna let you guys go. Is anybody going live this evening? That's in here. I was sharing this, like looking for the images, but that's the one I was talking about with the door where he likely came in. Outside dripping red stuff and down. Yes, Annie, you're right. The outside and the inside. Teresa is in 45 minutes. Okay, Teresa has a live. Melissa's going to go live on the Maui fires. I will be over in both of them. I hope you guys will go check them out too. There's different reasons why I like creators, but I can divide the truth from all the misinformation. Yep, like the Watts case. Debunk, debunk, debunk. You don't say. Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. You forgot us, Sally. I'm sorry. Melissa, the Maui fires is really interesting. And Shay, actually, did she send you? She sent me a somebody's YouTube channel. And this person used to do like beauty content, but they live in Maui and they're showing like some of the truth of what's going on there. And yeah, like missing kids, all kinds of stuff. I'll be really interested to see your live on it because, yeah, I appreciate that. Crazy Mama, whenever you guys want, maybe we could do this weekend or something. Let me know because I'm looking forward to that live as well. Hey, Just Purple. Good to see you. All right, you guys. Good night, Leo. I hope to see you guys later over at Criminality and Melissa Jades. And I also am not sure if Bendy's doing a live tonight. She might be. And if she is, I'll see you guys there too. But let me drop her link too. I know that Crime Curious has been working on those pre-recorded Stalk videos. I'm going to keep digging through that file. Yeah, and then I'll see you guys out there. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me, talking about all the crazy nonsense. I really do appreciate you guys. Yeah, and I'll see you soon. And thank you to my mods. Criminalities in 45 minutes, Claws are 35 minutes, and Melissa didn't say, but probably 7, maybe 9. But all right, I appreciate you guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Bye.